First topic of the day. Cowboy Bebop live action on Netflix. We both just finished it. I'm gonna just let you take over, and then I'll talk about how I feel after.
Okay, so Cowboy Bebop, the live action, I kind of got a little bit of what I expected and what I didn't expect at the same time. I definitely think I definitely didn't want the live action show to be the same as the TV show, and it definitely was not the same in terms of like the storyline plot. I would definitely say that like there are a lot of similarities, but like I feel like the twist at the end was, I think it was a good idea, to be honest, the twist in the end, but in terms of like the production, I just think that the production needed more work.
What do you mean by that?
So I feel like most of like the action scenes were like kind of like, they were kind of weird. I can't really explain it. I felt like I was watching like a old school Bruce Lee movie in a Cowboy Bebop, even though like in Cowboy Bebop he kind of references Bruce Lee here and there. It's just like it felt like I was watching like a old ass fucking like 70s movie.
Nah, I know, like on some like Star Trek type shit.
Yeah, where the action's like really slow and he can't move. Like I'm not used to seeing that, you know what I mean? So it was kind of dry sometimes. I feel like there was only one scene there was a couple of scenes that I actually enjoyed. I think it was like the one shot thing you were talking about.
Mm.
That was the only scene that I kind of enjoyed. But I think the story was good. I think the story was good. It's just that the like the acting was kind of like a little weird sometimes, and then like the just the production, like the floating clown dude, the way how he looked like he was on strings, and the way how Spike was sliding and shooting, it looked kind of fake. I just think they needed more of a bigger. I think they needed more of a bigger budget for the show. I think it could have been a good show.
Yeah. My thoughts on the show. It wasn't it, man. It was not it.
It wasn't.
I was incredibly bored throughout the whole show. I feel like my favorite episode was probably the first, just because I wasn't used to seeing everything. Like seeing it for the first time was really cool. My favorite part of the show is probably the set design. I like the set design, and I like some of the shots that the director took. Like it felt really stylistic to whoever the director is. I think it's a female, I forget her name.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it felt really stylistic, and I feel like that's kind of the way Cowboy Bebop should be portrayed when it comes to certain angles and certain lighting techniques and shit like that. But yeah, the story was because I have only seen a few episodes of the anime, and I know that pretty much none of them really like connect to a degree. They're all kind of like their own separate things, except for like the last few or whatever. And I know like them creating this, they had a hard time. They had a hard like goal to reach, which is like make it a connecting show. Like, you know what I mean? They have to connect it. This is something that they have to do. Mm-hmm. But in my personal opinion, I feel like they kind of shot themselves in the foot by staying too what's it called? Too connected to the manga, to the anime. As in, like, some of the lines were straight from the anime, and they weren't portrayed correctly live action. Like, I don't think certain things could be portrayed live action. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I recall one line. It's the famous line: "Whatever happens, happens." You ever heard that line? He said it to Vicious.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, why did you just say that? It didn't really have that same effect as it did in the anime.
A lot of the times you could tell they were just throwing it in because the anime had it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I personally think that, I don't know, you could tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they should have went more realistic in this take. Like, I feel like you know how some adaptations either are way too far from being connected, or some of them are too closely connected. I feel like this is a little bit too closely connected to the Cowboy Bebop. I feel like they should have took their own. The vision for this show was literally Cowboy Bebop, but they just didn't stick the landing. I feel like if they had their own vision for Cowboy Bebop, people would have been open to this more.
Bro, I pictured like for this movie, for this show, I pictured like a John Wick, Keanu Reeves type vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how it should have been. I feel like the way how I pictured the show like being in live action, I pictured like a John Wick, like Spike going in by himself typically and taking out all these dudes, and there's a storyline in between every single episode. I would say that I don't completely hate it. Like I liked some of the concepts that they added. I definitely liked even though I feel like most of it was kind of predictable. Like the Jet's little story he had. I like that episode. I like Faye's episode where Faye finds out a little bit about herself, because it kind of stayed true to the anime, and it still had that same effect with the music. And I think the music is also pretty good in this show too. They have really good jazz music, just like how Cowboy Bebop did in the anime.
I mean, but I definitely what's it called? I know that the person who did, I'm pretty sure the person who did the music for the anime did the same music for the show too.
Yeah. I just feel like they had good ideas. I feel like they had good ideas, but it just wasn't really fully. I feel like it was fully
It didn't stick the landing.
Yeah, they didn't stick the landing. Yeah, and they did a lot of different shit, because like Faye and Jet weren't as involved as they were in this one. Like they were involved, but they were never like heavy. Like Jet, especially Jet, was never really involved in all the episodes like that. He'll be like in the ship and he'll be talking to Spike. But they made him more interested, and they made him have a whole family and daughter, and I don't even call him having a daughter.
I was gonna say there was so much around that I was like, what? Like,
yeah,
I was so confused. Like, so he had a daughter,
but I don't mind that. Because I'm trying to look at it as a different Cowboy Bebop, because I didn't want it to be exactly the same. Which is why I like the ending. I just didn't like the cameraing and the fighting. And the acting. Some of the acting was kind of whack.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it was some of the lines were really stale. Like, I feel like the most cringiest line in the show was the shorty. I forget what episode it was, but Jet was talking to this chick, and he was like, "Oh, so is this blackmail?" And she was like, "Well, you are black and you are a male."
Yeah, that was corny.
I was like, what? Like, I'll spit on you, bro. Like, what are you telling me right now?
I do feel like even though he was in this show a lot, like I really felt like that black dude was Jet. I got like the Jet, like he can speak, like the way how he was speaking just like Jet. I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like honestly the characters who, well, from I've only seen a couple episodes, but the characters who kind of really portrayed themselves as their own type of like character were Jet and Faye.
Yeah,
like, both of them actually kind of felt like real people. I feel like Spike didn't. Like, he really didn't feel like a real person to me personally. Like, yeah, like he felt like he was acting.
You know who they did totally wrong? I was like, Vicious is like, he's a little hoe. Like, who is this person, bro? I'm watching. I'm like, yo, this dude's a little softy, bro. And he's like, he's stupid. Vicious is not when I was watching the show, it came off as like Vicious being stupid, and you can kind of tell that
he was emotional, like mad emotional.
Yeah, the other Vicious was not. He was like more. That's the one thing about the show. He had more of a nihilistic view on the world, rather than just being like getting vengeance. It wasn't really like I don't really feel like it was more so of him getting like vengeance. It was like him trying to take over the syndicate, him trying to do it in a smart way. But you said it was directed by a girl, and I can kind of see that because I feel like Julia was not even supposed to be involved at all in the show like that, and they made her be like the kind of like the mastermind kind of.
Yeah, she was the tie between him and Spike.
Yeah,
but that's why it's hard to be like, yo, like this wasn't faithful or whatever, because it's like they have to kind of do their own thing. But I feel like sometimes it's like less is more, if you get what I'm saying. Like I feel like the reason why people liked Vicious so much in the show is because you barely really got to know him. Like he was just like, he was a menace, like he was a threat to Spike. Like he wasn't like his own character to a degree. Like he wasn't like, he didn't know his flaws, he didn't know his everything. He was just kind of like the antagonist to Spike. Like that's why people, I feel like that's why people liked him. Like there was a lot of things in the show that I kind of just felt like they added into. So I'm gonna word it better. I feel like there's a difference between a story arc and like character development. You know what I mean? So I feel like this show would have been, I don't know, me personally, I feel like this show would have been better if they had an arc versus development on the character. So what I mean by that is when it comes to story arcs, that means the character starts from A, and B, they either make a mistake or they go through something, and then C, they're a different character. Like that's the arc of usually a character. So like to compare it, I'll be like Captain America. In the first movie, he was like that goody two soldier, and in the second movie, he was like he was seeing that wasn't like like the government wasn't always perfect to lead, like to follow their direction, because you find out that like Hydra was really behind everything. And in the third movie, he's a completely different character where he's going against the establishment. You know what I mean? So it's like that's his character arc. And I feel like in this show, none of these characters had really character arcs. They had what's it called? Like when you're explaining the character's backstory, that doesn't make me feel for the character more because I know their backstory. I mean, I'd rather them have an arc just so I can see their flaws and I can see them grow and learn from it, versus me just learning them being the same character from the start to finish, but me just learning more about their character, like their past and shit.
It's basically that arc actually already happened, and then it's showing you like how they became the way they are. Yeah,
I mean, but I don't know. It just didn't do it for me personally. Like this is a drag. Like
yeah, it felt like it was like we already said earlier. It felt like we were working. Like when I was watching it, I felt like I was like forcing myself to watch all of it.
100%. Like there was a lot of times that I was just like, yo, this episode is still going on. Like, what the fuck? Like, but yeah, like I said, my favorite part of this entire show was the set design. Like, I like how everything looked aesthetically, but I feel like.
Would you say there's anything in the plot that you liked? I only like the ending, to be honest.
Explain why you like the ending.
Because I feel like that, like when you watch the anime and you watch the live action, you can see what they were trying to do. Like you see a lot of like a similarities, but it's just that like they gave you what the anime gave you, but what an actual answer, kind of, in a way. Because in the anime, what people got mad about in the anime is that like he didn't know if Spike died. He didn't know if he actually was alive after when he fell out the window. But in this one, they give you an answer, and it's completely different. It's like the girl that he was fighting for is the girl that ends up shooting him and betraying him. And I kind of I didn't see that coming. To be honest, I didn't see it coming at all. That was the main reason, because it was like a huge plot twist to the show in general, and it was pretty risky because you're changing the whole show after that. That scene is like, yo, you changed the whole damn show. Like it's not the anime no more. It's completely its own show. Like if they come out with a season 2, it's gonna be him trying to stop Julia. Like we don't know what's gonna happen next.
Also, it's pretty much gonna be original content from then on. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what's even gonna make it kind of worse. It's like from what they did already, like, and then continuing it from scratch, like not even taking anything from source material, it's gonna be tough. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And I personally, honestly, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I don't think they're making a season 2.
I don't think so either. I don't think it's gonna progress that far. I don't think they're gonna get that. They're gonna get approved by Netflix. It wasn't a good show. There was just, I feel like there was like good moments. That was it.
And there was like, and remember how we watched the trailer and how they were like, how like it looked like they were breaking the fourth wall, how they were moving like the line and shit, how certain shit was like looking in the trailer. I feel like they didn't do any of that in the show, and that's kind of what I was looking forward to. Like fourth wall breaking, like dynamic action scenes where it kind of just felt plain, like it felt mad average, like
yeah,
and like
a lot of talking.
Yeah, with nothing, like when they were talking just to talk. If any, that's how I really felt. And one of the things that's hard for like taking a show like an anime or a cartoon and making it into live action is kind of like your sense of belief of what's going on. Like in the anime, it's like, okay, yeah, I believe this can happen, like to a degree. But in the live action, it's kind of like, bro, like what's going on? Like, why are these niggas using pistols in space? Like, why are these niggas walking around with VHS tapes and shit? Like, there's just so much shit that it took me out of it because it's live action, so I'm seeing it for real. Like, versus in anime where I'm like, yeah, I'll believe it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like, and then like, how do you have so much technology and then you go to a planet and they're like regular niggas? Like,
just driving regular cars. Like
I feel like
they look like they look like they're in the 50s.
Yeah, it's just that's what I mean by them pulling too much from the show. When I feel like they should have went futuristic heavily, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would have made way more sense, like lasers and just shit like that. Like, if this is supposed to be the future, they're using tech that is so out of date that it just kind of feels like this is fake. This can't be real. Like, you know what I mean? It took me completely out of the experience, like, which is, it's kind of like unfortunate because I really like the set design, like I said before, and like certain camera angles and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it looked interesting. It was just everything around it. It wasn't it for me. For somebody who've only seen a few episodes, so I was like, I really feel bad for the fans who were like really looking forward to this, like, and it kind of like flopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, would you recommend this to people? If you were being honest?
No, I wouldn't recommend this to people. No.
Literally, like, I wouldn't recommend it to fans. I wouldn't recommend it to a regular nigga. Like, I feel like there's just better shows to watch. Like, I like the music was good, but it's kind of like you're just using that for because the show used that type of music. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It just wasn't. I was just so bored out of my fucking mind. Like, I was just like, Jesus Christ. It made me not like Cowboy Bebop.
He said that.
I was like, I know that's blasphemous, but I was originally gonna watch the show and then finish the anime, and I was like, I'm done. I'm good on that.
Like I feel like the there was like the whole time in Jet's episode, it was just fucking Spike and Faye just wasting time. Just I thought it was kind of funny in some scenes, but it's like at the same time it was just like, I don't want to watch this. Just show me what's going on with Jet and like wrap it up. I felt like I was like working when I was watching it.
Yeah, like
100%.
I did like the banter between them, but it was like they felt like caricatures. If that makes any sense. They felt like this is Spike from the anime. He's like a narcissistic asshole, and then this is Jet. He's always on Spike's back. But there was there was nothing more than that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is Faye. She's like the sexy, like archetype chick. And honestly, I feel like they like in the anime, them titties is tittying. Like they should like, I don't know. It just wasn't like.
The thing is, I feel like in the anime, like what attracted people to the anime, other than like the action, was the dialogue. Like they would have like conversations, and like it would, like you would really think about life sometimes with the type of conversations that they were having. And this one, you were just listening to them. It was like, yo, I don't give a fuck about any of this shit. Like,
yeah, like I'm just talking from somebody who hasn't really fully seen the full show, but from what I've seen, like I feel like the dialogue was very like philosophical to a degree.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it just had more depth. Like you wanted to find out more about the characters. When it comes to this, it was kind of like they were already showing you everything. Like, clearly Spike was in the syndicate. Clearly he was like, you know what I mean? Clearly, like it was just so much shit that was just thrown in your face, where it's kind of like, who is this for? Is this for fans? Is this for people who don't know about the anime? Like, who is this really for?
I think it's a little bit of both. I feel like definitely, I definitely feel like it's not for someone that's watched the TV show. It's definitely for someone that comes in. I feel like it's for a new viewer more so than someone that's already watched the show.
But that's the thing. That's specifically why I'm like, they should have went more realistic. Like they should have went more cyberpunky vibes. Like, you know what I mean? Like futuristic, everything. Like it just would have made more sense. Like it, like when he hopped into his little like what's the little ship called? Like not the big ship, the little ship.
The red one?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I forgot what it's called, but the red ship.
It looked like he just hopped on a bike, like a bicycle. Like, you know what I mean? And he was just like he just skated off. I was just like, bro, I was just like looking at some of the CGI, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
yeah,
why did you let this get past fucking post-production? Like, I feel like even that's the thing, it's like even if this show had more time to really like make the animation look better or the CGI look better, it's aesthetically it wasn't pleasing, because you were just so confused. You were just like, where is this taking place? Like, what time? What happened to Earth? Where is all the animals? How come this bitch has never seen a dog? Where are all the wildlife? Where is the aliens? There's no way humans just like went to other planets and there was no type of aliens. I feel like in the show it makes sense because they're going to specific spots where it's like there's they explain that there's humans there or whatever, like they kind of took over, made their own place or whatever. But I feel like here it's kind of like, this looks like Earth. Like every planet they went to just looked like Earth. Like, you know what I mean? It didn't look unique. It didn't look aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it looked like Earth. Yeah,
like, you know
I would say that too.
I was just like, please let this show end.
I want to know what planet they were on when Jet was looking for that guy, because it looked like they were just straight off on Earth, bro. Like on a regular day on Earth.
When he was like when he went back to the nigga who betrayed him.
Yeah.
It felt like they kept on going to the same planet, even though they specifically said they were going to a new planet. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It felt like this is clearly the same set that you was using before. Like I recognize this shit, right? Like, why is there no alien language? Like, There's no weird looking plant lives. Like there's no creatures. Like something.
No, it's kind of crazy. You mentioned all this, and I never thought about any of that when I was watching the anime.
Because it doesn't have to explain it because it's an anime. You know what I mean? You just take it for what it is. But when it's live action, you kind of have to explain what's going on. Like, I'm sorry, you have to. That's why it's like, if it's for the fans that already know and like kind of, I'm just gonna let it go in my head. Then they did a poor job. And if it's for people like me who don't really watch the show or don't know a lot about the show, it did a poor job in that because it's still, they're using like fucking VHS tapes and shit. Like, it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
so I think you have to watch the show to understand what's going on, because they don't really have VHS tapes like that. It's pretty rare. That's why Thing had to build one. If you realize, he was building it a little bit and then he put it in, because like in the anime show, they were looking for a VHS player because they couldn't find one, and they found one at like this like thrift shop where a guy is like a retro collector who collects like old ass shit from Earth, and then they played the video of Faye when she was younger and shit like that.
Yeah, and even that video, I was like, where is this taking place? That shit looks like the 50s again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I think that was supposed. In the anime, I think that was supposed to take place on Earth in Tokyo.
Which makes sense because she was frozen and shit.
Yeah, she was frozen and shit. Yeah,
that makes sense, but I don't know. That's just me. It was just Vicious looked goofy. He looked like a bitch. Like, you look like,
dude. Vicious was not like the son of. I don't think he was the son of the elder or anything. He was like a military, like a guy that was from the military that came back to society and joined the gang. Like, he wasn't like I don't think. At least I don't think he was. I don't really recall it because I haven't seen the show in like.
I think that people, like a lot of directors or story artists do, is that to make a villain look scary, he kills his like one of the people that works for him. Like, that's like a cliche in movies. Like, you know what I mean? To prove that the bad guy is super bad. But I feel like for this, it's like, am I supposed to be scared of this nigga? He looks like a bitch. Like,
yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Just because he kills niggas, and he then I think it was like episode 7 where he pulled up to the elders and he just killed everybody there. I was just like, what? Like, it doesn't look like that's something like he could pull that off. Like, I'm sorry, there's no feat that he's done to prove that.
Honestly, they kind of defeated that purpose because they were showing that he wasn't as like strong or smart at all. Then like randomly he shows up and starts killing people. I'm like, so is he really good at fighting or is he just like a loser? Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It made it seem like Spike is the one that has to take care of him all the time.
Yeah, like everybody was just sucking on Spike's cock the whole time. It was like,
yeah,
this is like, you're a bitch. Like, sorry, like that's really what it is. Like,
I feel like I gotta rewatch the anime a little bit because it's like, was Vicious really, like, I understand that he was mad about the whole Julia situation, but I don't think that was like the main focus behind everything.
They always have to focus on some type of love and shit. Like, that's just what it is. But honestly, I'm never. Like, I'll never watch the anime again.
He said that.
I'll never, like, I'm not watching season 2. It's just like, I'm good on Cowboy Bebop. I'm sorry. I hopefully that doesn't offend people, but that's just what.
Oh, it definitely is.
Like, I'm just good on that. Like, never again. I'm something. I got it. Like, you know what I mean? I got it. I'm good. But yeah, what would you rate this 1 out of 10?
This is getting a hardcore like 4 or 3. The thing is too, I feel like if there's an anime show that you should be able to make into reality, it should be this one. I honestly think, because we've had futuristic show like movies before, like we had
like Blade Runner and shit like that.
Blade Runner, yeah. Blade Runner is a perfect example.
But I feel like what Blade Runner does right is it crafts a universe, a believable universe. And this one, it really doesn't feel like it's believable. It really felt like a cartoon. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's really why I really believe they should have went futuristic, like super dark and gritty and futuristic. Of course, they could be jokes and shit, but I feel like that would have put people either like halfway on this, like, okay, at least they're trying something new. But with this,
another movie that was close, I feel like, to doing it was Ghost in Shell. I feel like it was kind of boring when I was watching it, but like I feel like it had some good visuals.
Yeah, but I knew better not to watch that shit. But yeah. Honestly, have you ever seen Blade Runner 2099? I think it's called.
No, I haven't seen that one. No.
That's probably one of the best looking movies I've ever seen in my life. 100%. Like visually, like it's like porn. Like that shit looks so fucking real. Like it looks like that. Like it looks real. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. They probably could have turned this into a little mini movie, if anything, than doing a show. You know.
I felt like I was watching a movie a little bit when I was watching it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I feel bad for y'all anime niggas, you know. But yeah, I also gotta give it a 3, because it was not fun to watch at all. It was really a drag. Yeah, it sucked because y'all about to get you know. Have fun with that. Have fun with that you joint. You know,
it's about to be beat.
You know what time it is. Like I'm never like the trailer for this show was actually really good. I give them that. But now I can't trust trailers anymore. Like, you know, like that's really how it feels.
Now I'm waiting on One Piece, and I know that's gonna be.
No.
I already know that's gonna be bad. Like, One Piece is just a weird world in general, so it's like, yo, how are they gonna pull this off? Like,
it sucks for y'all niggas, man, because y'all niggas is struggling. I don't know what to tell you.
Like, I found myself like falling asleep at some parts, and I had to rewind. Like, I was like, oh shit.
Like, you remember how it was like the next phase of movies, like it would be anime or video games? It's not.
Yeah.
After watching this, like that ass, like I don't know, man.
Dragon Ball Z Evolution.
Shit. At least they tried something new, even though they didn't pull it off. At least they tried something. This one, it kind of stuck too close to the anime. Like, it's a lot of nostalgia bait.
Why do you think it's easier for like superhero films to be made compared to that? Is it because it's like a Western style of cartoon?
I'm sorry, like hopefully like Japanese people don't get offended by this. Y'all niggas is weird, bro. Like a lot of niggas is weird. Like a lot of the shit y'all did or doing, they don't look good in live action. Like a perfect example for your question is that chick that showed up at the end. I forget her name. She's one of the main characters in the show. What's her name? The little chick with the orange hair.
Oh, Edward.
Like, bro, when she was talking, like I felt my face cringe. Like it was just so bad. She's like, Spike, we gotta go. Like, you can't do that in real life. That shit don't look right. Like it doesn't. It looks dumb. Like when you we gotta do, like you look crazy. Like it doesn't look good. Like it looks.
I feel like they could have made him talk weird, like and act weird, but not the gestures. The gestures were like a little bit too off the top.
There's no way that's a guy. There's no way.
I don't think they confirm if it's a guy or a girl.
It's a girl. Oh, there's no way. That's a bitch, bro.
They don't confirm it. They don't confirm the gender.
I just know the gender of the actress was a female.
Oh.
So it just, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna just assume it's a girl. But yeah, that's what for your question about why it's so hard to. That is my example right there. The way she was acting, that's how a lot of anime is. It's like, oh my god, we have to do this. Oh, like that's what anime is known for, that shit. And I feel like at least with comic books, they and just regular animated shows. It's just like
I can't hold you. Japanese people be acting like that.
Keep that over there though.
They be acting like bad, like they be like mad, like expressive, and then yelling, and then I don't know.
Yeah, I can't take that serious. So I feel like with at least comic books, they take what the source material serious to a degree. If that makes any sense.
Glamour of wearing diamonds.
Diamonds bring status, elegance, and prestige. Their brilliance makes